Hi everybody, I'm doing this video in response to a great question that Louise has sent in. She sent me in a question asking what my methodology is to teach intermediate skiers how to ski off-piste and what potential common mistakes they might have. So probably the first thing is to look at the potential common mistakes they may have, and then we can look at how we can address that before going into the off-piste. So one of the first things that often people tend to do when they're skiing off-piste is the turns can be quite Z-shaped. And what I mean by that is they turn their feet suddenly, then go straight, turn their feet suddenly and go straight. The problem with that is as you turn your feet, the snow then builds up and creates a wall. So if you turn them suddenly, the wall is created really quickly and you end up tripping over your feet. The next kind of perception actually, which people have often, is that you have to lean back to ski off-piste. Now, if you lean back to try to get the tips out of the snow, obviously your legs are going to use up a lot of energy because you're leaning back, having to use a lot of muscular strength to actually ski down. So you're actually better to stay more centered and stand over the middle of your foot. The ski will naturally float as you're moving along, so you don't need to lean back to do that. The next thing, people often have a habit of leaning up the hill and leaning into the turn. If you do this, you end up standing on your inside ski, and then that could lead to a fall as well. Now this can also be triggered by if you're a little bit nervous or a bit intimidated by the terrain, you tend to lean in. So try to be on that outside ski. Another really important point, a lot of people don't like feeling out of balance, and in the off-piste you're going to get thrown out of balance a lot. So it's almost accepting that that's normal, just trying to recover, get back over your feet and try to be central, but accepting that you're going to get thrown out of balance. The more skillful you are, the quicker you can make those recoveries and get back over your feet. So like we said, we're going to look at how you can address these points before you go into the off-piste. So initially what I would do is to work on these things on the piste and on piste skis initially. So the first thing, we spoke about trying to make rhythmical smooth turns. So the first thing is try to make smooth, rhythmical S-shaped turns as opposed to Z-shaped, and probably do that in a short radius initially. Once you can do that consistently, try to be a bit more equal on both feet, kind of 60-40 percentage-wise on both feet. So you don't want to be too much on one foot, because if you do that, the outside ski can dig into the snow and sink into the snow. So trying to be 60-40 over your feet. Try to be central, standing over the middle of your feet, and also try to maintain a good rhythm. Something that helps with maintaining a good rhythm is having a good pole plant. So pole plant and good rhythm. Once you can do that consistently on the piste again, start to do that on off-piste skis. Now what I would recommend is a ski that's maybe 97 underfoot, so not too wide, but a little bit wider than your piste skis to enable the skis to float. So exactly the same 5 points we've just discussed, but on off-piste skis. Once that's consistent, then you can start to take this into the off-piste. Now the selection of terrain is crucial here. You don't want something too steep, and equally you don't want something too flat. So something around blue run gradient would be ideal, and quite close to the piste so that you can just join the piste if you get a little bit intimidated or you have a few difficulties. Initially work on trying to make smooth S-shaped turns like we've spoken about, then combine that with trying to keep it rhythmical. Rhythmical, smooth S-shaped turns, and then linking in that with a pole plant. Once that's consistent, accepting the point that we spoke about before, that when you're in the off-piste, you're going to get thrown out of balance. So rhythmical, smooth pole planting, and trying to make quick recoveries to get back over your feet, but accepting that that is a normal process to go through. I hope you've enjoyed the video, Louise, and that it's answered your questions, and I hope you enjoyed it. Cheers.